Have you ever been told to use your brain? But what if I told you that your brain is not the real power center of your life? What if your mind is, not your brain? You see, your mind is the real driver of your destiny. What if your thoughts were more than just mental events, but spiritual forces shaping your reality, your relationship, your purpose, and even your eternity? Welcome to Not Depressed, Just Clueless, where we dare to dig deep beneath what you've been told, to uncover what you've always known deep down to be true. Today we unravel a mystery that science scratches at, religion whispers about, and the spirit realm confirms. Your mind is not your brain, and understanding this could change everything. So let's begin with separating the two concepts the world often confuses: the brain and the mind. Your brain is an organ, 3 pounds of matter sitting in your skull. It processes signal, stores memories, and regulates physical function. It's simply biology. But your mind, on the other hand, that's different. Your mind is not a thing. It is a space, a spiritual domain, a faculty of the soul that transcends biology. It is where your thoughts are born, where imagination is conceived, where choices are made. And listen closely, where the Spirit of God either finds agreement or faces resistance. In other words, your mind is a spiritual portal, a gate between the visible and invisible realm. Like Apostle Paul hinted at this when he said, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Not your brain, but your mind. Romans 12 verse 2. This is because transformation doesn't start in the physical. It begins in the invisible. It begins in how you think. The mind is not a passive receiver of information. It is an active creator of reality. Every decision you make, every emotion you feel, every action you take begins first in the thoughts. Your job, your relationship, your health, your finances, they are all shaped by the invisible blueprint in your mind. And here's where it gets profound. What you consistently dwell on in your mind becomes the magnet in your life. This is not self-help fluff or manifestation hype. This is spiritual law. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Proverbs 23:7. Why, you may ask? Because thoughts is spiritual energy. Thoughts carry intention, agreement, and direction. When your mind aligns with the Spirit of God, it births life. But when it aligns with fear, bitterness, deception, it opens portals of destruction. In other words, you don't just have thoughts, your thoughts have you. Now let's go deeper. Your mind is not a neutral ground. No, it is a battlefield. Everyday unseen forces war for your attention, your agreement, your belief. The enemy doesn't need your body. He only needs your mind. Because if he can influence how you think, he can steer how you live. That's why the scripture tells us to take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5. The mind is where spiritual warfare is fought. Not with swords or words, but with thoughts, accusations, deceptions, assumptions, and fears. That voice telling you you're not good enough, that's not you. That's a foreign whisper seeking to nest in your mind and produce a fruit in your life. But here's the key. You are not your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper of your thoughts. What you allow in your mind becomes what you birth in your word. So what are you birthing? Now let's stretch even further. Your mind is not only shaping your present, it's also shaping your eternity. Why, you may ask? Because your mind is tied to your soul. It is eternal in nature. Your patterns of thoughts are not wiped away when you die. They are refined, judged, and revealed. That's why Jesus didn't just preach about actions, he went after intentions. Because the kingdom of heaven doesn't measure performance, it measures agreement with truth. In the afterlife, we don't suddenly become different people. We become more clearly who we already were in our mind. You are building your eternity with every thought you entertain, every lie you reject, and every truth you choose to believe. So what does this mean for you right now? It means you are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply clueless, not in shame, but in potential. Because the moment you awaken to the truth of your mind, you become a co-creator with God. You were never meant to be ruled by your brain. You were created to rule with your mind, submitted to the Spirit, anchored in truth, and open to renewal. So today I challenge you, begin to observe your thoughts like a gatekeeper. Feed your mind with truth, not noise. Align your thinking with heaven, not fear. Speak life into your future by choosing life in your mind. Your mind is not just what you think. It's where you partner with God or you don't. It's not just biology. It's a spiritual technology. So no, you are not crazy. You are not failing. You definitely are not too late. You are just awakening. And that, my friend, is the beginning of power. This has been Not Depressed, Just Clueless. If this stirred something inside of you, don't just scroll past it. Sit with it. Re-listen to it over and over again. Share it, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Because someone else needs to hear that their freedom begins in their mind. Till I see you in my next video, guard your gates, renew your mind, and partner with heaven. God bless you.